So we need to end this world in which the Trumpist right is allowed to weave what is a complete fantasy world, that it's simply unbelievable that Donald Trump could have at any point been involved in any kind of sexual assault with Jeffrey Epstein or at Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan condo, because they barely knew each other. They weren't friends. Trump never liked him. It needs to stop, okay? And corporate media, by the way, needs to stop giving any benefit of the doubt to that narrative that Donald Trump has been trying to weave. Donald Trump, to catch you up, was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl that also claims Jeffrey Epstein raped her. And that the suit was ultimately pulled because of alleged death threats against the 13-year-old, the then 13-year-old. Donald Trump's outgoing labor secretary, Alexander Acosta, gave Jeffrey Epstein a ridiculously good plea deal years ago, and he now has been forced to resign as a result of it. Donald Trump has claimed time and again he never liked Jeffrey Epstein, never was really a fan, never really hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, barely knew the guy. And this every single day is a narrative that is being absolutely destroyed by facts and evidence. There's now newly discovered footage from the NBC archives, which shows that Donald Trump was not only talking to Jeffrey Epstein after warmly welcoming him to his party in 1992, he was clearly talking on video about the young women that were dancing in front of them. Who's hot? Whispering sweet nothings into Jeffrey Epstein's ear about who knows what it is that maybe Jeffrey Epstein might be interested in doing later on at that party. So this is video from well before the sickening plea deal that Epstein ultimately struck in Florida. Let's take a look at the video.
Yet, a tape in the NBC archives of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention.
Donald! Donald! Donald!
The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president says now, he never liked Epstein.
I was not a fan of his. That I can tell you. I was not a fan of his.
So this is actually even worse than previously imagined. I hope you noticed, by the way, if you were watching the video. If not, find the video because the audio doesn't do it justice. Trump at one point grabbing a woman's rear end in the video. That's a really nice touch. So Trump has said, "I barely knew the guy." Seems to know him pretty well based on this video. All of the prior reporting on this has been accurate. Trump was friends with Epstein. Trump was accused of raping a 13-year-old in Epstein's Manhattan apartment. But the picture is now sort of expanding to show this as a two-way relationship, which is what, quite frankly, most of us believed it to be. Most of us in the side of logic and reason believed it to be from the beginning of the evidence that we started gathering on this issue. Not only was Epstein possibly facilitating trysts for Donald Trump at Epstein's homes, going back to the 90s, Trump was potentially facilitating trysts for Epstein at Trump's own properties. Especially, remember, we heard early this week or late last week about the party planner who was told to gather 28 young women for a party which would be attended only by those 28 young women, as well as Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. So consider how much we have to suspend disbelief in order to believe the right-wing talking points on this. Trump, no, he didn't like Epstein. Well, we've got footage where they certainly seem to like each other. Trump, no, he didn't go to parties with young girls along with Epstein, except now there's video of Epstein going to Trump's parties with young women. Why is it so difficult to imagine that sometimes the parties would be at Epstein's place as well? Their relationship, oh, it was distant. they were definitely not bonding over women they found attractive. Oh, wait, now there's video of Trump and Epstein gawking at women dancing while Donald Trump discusses with Epstein which ones are attractive and how attractive are they.